Just to start this off, one of the critical issues that seems to come up in a lot of conversations when we talk about General Electric going to Boston or Alexion was that these companies didn't see Connecticut as a place where they could find the talent and the ideas in an idea-driven economy. And that's why they did leave to go to the cities where they believed that concentration of energy existed. What can Connecticut do to avoid this brain drain? We've got wonderful colleges, we have universities throughout the state that are educating these minds, and yet they're leaving the state of Connecticut. So I will pose this question to you, David. What can we do to accelerate activities to attract young, vital brains into the workforce in Connecticut?
Sure. Can folks hear me and see me okay, or is it better if I stand?
Yeah, we hear you.
You good without this?
Yeah. All right. So I'll answer a few different ways, but I think first and foremost, it's important that we take the right lessons away from some of those recent, negative stories, right? GE moved a couple hundred people. Their workforce in Connecticut is still pretty significant. They did so as a bit of a kind of smoke and mirrors to mask, the trends that they were seeing. They gave back all the incentives to the state of Massachusetts, city of Boston. They're not building the new building, right? They're not adding the 600 people that they went there to say that they were going to do, which they could only get in Boston. So let's make sure that we not take the wrong lesson away from this about what it actually means for Connecticut. That being said, we clearly have a competitive disadvantage when we compare ourselves to the global gateway cities that are on our doorsteps, right? We are never going to have the same access to employment opportunities, entertainment opportunities, prospective spouses, the whole range of stuff that is why 20-somethings go to New York and Boston or places like it. But two factors are working in our favor. One, we have a collection of pretty phenomenal downtowns, as Patrick described, some of which need some work, but many of which are on their path towards revitalization, that complement one another. And if we can network them together so that they function like neighborhoods of something larger, then we reduce that competitive disadvantage. We're never going to be the scale of New York, but if someone can live in New Haven, take a train to Norwalk for a meal, take a train to Meriden for a day in the park, be down in Stamford for a show, that's no different than sitting on a subway from Bushwick to the East Village or from the Upper West Side to Lower Manhattan. It's just a mindset, and it's largely due to the quality of the transportation network. If we can network together our neighborhoods and our small communities so that they function like parts of something larger, we can reduce that competitive disadvantage. But further than that, we do still have a pretty successful little niche there for young families. When the 30-something couple starts to have kids, just as I did, just as many of my colleagues and friends have done, New York City and Boston and places like it start to have some quality of life challenges that they don't present when you're in your 20s. And I think, particularly in southwestern and southern Connecticut, from the New Haven metro area to the west, we present a range of community options that provide the best of both worlds. You could be in an urban environment in downtown New Haven or Stamford or Norwalk, Bridgeport. You could be in a small single-family home with a small lot that provides you room to breathe. You could be on the waterfront, you could be near the hiking hills, and you can stitch together a collection of quality of life amenities that outcompete the city in almost every regard. We just need to do a better job of identifying those assets, reinforcing them, networking them together, and communicating them, and we'll attract more people than we are right now.